Hello again. So, in all honesty, this video is a different one to the one I was originally going to do, which I think I mentioned in the previous one was about affirmations. Actually, this one's a bit more down to earth and relatable. And I want to talk about relationships, but not relationships with everyone else. I'm talking about the most important relationship of all is your relationship with yourself. That can come across quite cheesy to some or not to others, but it's worth listening to. Because I think what we forget is actually the most important relationship is the one with ourselves. We will only ever be ourselves. And that's quite a profound thing to think. We will never be those people we're trying to impress. We will never be those people we're trying to be, you know, Kardashians or footballers or whatever, because we're not going to be. But what you have to do is almost stare blankly at who you are. Look yourself in the mirror, whether you like yourself or not. And almost remind yourself, and that's where affirmations do come in actually, like tell yourself, one of the hardest things to ever say, because you almost feel arrogant, and we're made to feel like that way, is to tell yourself you love yourself, like look yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, whether you believe it or not. In the end, your mind will start to believe it, and you'll really start your day off positively with that. So there's the bit on the affirmations. But I truly believe not enough of us worship the relationship we have with ourselves. We spend all our time, and me included at various points through life, trying to impress and trying to say and trying to be what people want us to be. And you massively neglect yourself. I often hear within parenting, like when I've been doing clients here, that I've lost my identity, and your identity is like that's massive. It's like your identity is you. You are you. And I think you get to a point, again, getting onto the depression subject, that actually I remember thinking that, oh my God, I have no opinion. I had to surrender to it. I had to surrender to it and not stop fighting, because I always believe I'm a fighter. But I had to surrender to it and be like, this is it. I have no opinion. And you feel so blank. But then on a positive note to that, blank canvas. Start again, start forming your opinions again, start working out who you are again. And that's not so you don't dwell on the past. Then you don't sit in the past and go, right, but I was that person. Like, I used to go to the gym all the time. I used to go to the gym and work out, and sometimes twice a day, because I lived opposite one within Birmingham. And I spent so much time going, oh, but I used to be that, Well, the past few years, I spent the time running. And I read something today, and it said, running is like, the symptoms are like depression. And I know that sounds quite messed up, actually, but so you almost distract yourself from depression. And I started running as I was feeling that way. So you have the anxiety, you have the, my breathing's going to part, my heart's racing. But because it's distracted by the fact you're running, you don't realise actually it might be the depression feelings. And I know I'll talk about mindfulness and actually feeling what you're feeling. But running is a therapy within itself. There's a certain mindfulness within that. You're really engaging, you're really focusing, your legs, you're breathing. But point being, like, I know in the past I was a lot fitter, my physique was a lot better, but I was always trying to be someone I wasn't. My hair was black, my eyelashes were tinted, my eyebrows were tinted, I was on the sunbed all the time, I used tan injections, I used steroids, whatever else I could get my hands on in order to make me what I thought was a better version of myself. But it's amazing that actually people see when you're happy inside. I was dead inside then. It was a hard time, but like this time, like now, it's amazing how many people go, oh, do you know what, you look well, and you can see they can't quite put their finger on it, and you know everything's natural now. Actually, tell a lie, I might have a bit of Botox, a bit of honesty there. I haven't had it for a while, but still, you know, there's a little bit of reassurance there. If you're a bit hungover, you look a bit fresher. But anyway, another subject. Yeah, people really notice when you're happy inside. They go, God, you look well, and they can't quite put their finger on it. And it's when you're identifying with your own happiness then as well. And you know why they're saying it. You don't stand there and go, thanks, it's because I'm in the best possible place, although I'm quite vocal. So I might have said that once or twice. But here's the point as well. in terms of my relationship with myself, I rejoined the gym today, and I find I have such an association with the gym being a bad part of my life years ago, when the gym didn't make me depressed. Actually, I used it as a distraction going twice there, but I just had that massive association with, actually, when I go to the gym, that's a bad part of my life. When I shave my hair off, that's when I'm in a bad place. It isn't. And I've really had to sort of fight through that today and go, no, because I've sprained my ankle, I can't run. I know I've mentioned running. So I have to do something more for because I think there is a lot of mental aspects with the gym. Like, there's a lot of mindfulness when you're engaging your muscles. You really are just sitting in the moment. And don't get me wrong, walking into the gym, you see other people there. There's certain anxieties there that you sometimes I forgot I had, actually. You know, what are they doing? What should I? And in the end, I was like, do you know what, David? You're 35 years of age. Just do what you do. And that's my relationship with myself now. It sounds exhausting to some that I'm talking to myself in that way all the time. But do you know what? I've learned to accept that my mental health is a part of me. It's not going to go away. I'll just learn to live with things about myself that I don't like sometimes, but they are part of me, and I try and channel that energy and use it. So I think in your relationships with the people around you are, of course, vital. And one thing I've learned, I keep saying one thing I've learned, one of many things I've learned, is that the relationships with the people around you are an extension of yourself. And it's hard to recognise a trait in someone else, good or bad, if you haven't got that within yourself. So next time, if you're talking about someone else, have they hit a nerve? Is it something you've recognised within yourself that you don't like to admit? I know I've done it in the past. Massively defensive at times. When I've said stuff about someone and I've been like, God, David, think about it. Are you like that? And it's worth checking in on yourself like that. And that's another relationship I have with myself, my internal dialogue, my internal conversations. It's not just about physical stuff and sort of understanding your body and your face and whatever else. It's about being happy with that and just going, well, here's another statement as well. Like, I'm not going to be anyone else but me. You are never going to be anyone else but yourself. You can try and look like someone, and they're like, if you look at these people that have spent tens of thousands of pounds on cosmetic surgery to look like a certain celebrity, they look nothing like that certain celebrity because they are them. And there's a massive sort of psychological thing there, obviously, about not being happy with yourself and whatever. But like I say, your relationships with the people around you are, of course, important and, of course, vital and educational and worthwhile. But what I'm trying to get at is just really just understand your relationship with yourself, because it's like, especially if you like to sort of help people, you can't help them if you haven't helped yourself. And that was another thing I was addressing more recently. It's valuable taking time, taking that space, giving that space, giving yourself that energy to help you heal fundamentally, and then through your own experiences you can help other people heal. So, work on yourself. There's being vulnerable is not a weakness. Being vulnerable, letting yourself be vulnerable around those people that you have the relationship with, being vulnerable for yourself is not a weakness. Don't fight it, let it be. And there's almost like a closing statement I like to say, and it is, working on yourself is not selfish. It's not selfish. Loving yourself is not arrogant. It's like we're almost bred to think that, but working on yourself is not selfish. I think that's a massive thing. It's like, if you think about your intention, think about what you gain, you just ultimately, then you can say to yourself, am I doing this for selfish reasons or not? I used to do a lot years ago for selfish reasons, pre depression. I used to do most of what I've done was for my own gain. whether it was a night out, and I found myself almost quite manipulative. Now I use that positively and use it to help people and understand. So when I'm talking to someone, the manipulation turns into understanding. I think that's massively important. So yeah, so work on yourself. Working on yourself is not selfish, is something daily I like to think about. So whether it's going to the gym, doing a bit of meditation, which I've done just before this, because I just needed to just sit. I was having a good day. I am having a good day. But to just sit and just be in that mental headspace and go, okay, well, because when you close your eyes and when you sit, you often, there's a lot of things there that you might be resisting or avoiding. So just sit and have moments to yourself, have a cup of tea on your own, get up a bit earlier, take yourself for a walk. You don't have to run or go to the gym. Just really, really just understand your relationship with yourself and respect and love that relationship with yourself. So I hope this video reached you well. I'll go on and live the rest of my day. This wasn't actually a morning video, which is what I normally do, so hopefully I don't look as tired. Anyway, have a good day, rest of the day. I'll speak to you soon.